Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Hello and welcome to the Midweek Takeaway. Today we're joined by our friend Aleksandra Binkowska, CEO of Hydrogen Utopia International. Welcome, Aleksandra.
Good morning.
How are you doing? You okay?
I'm very, very, very well. It was a sleepless night, but I am very, very, very well. I'm very happy with the success, with the outcome of the IPO. I am very pleased. It gives me more boost to work harder and to make it even more successful. But I think it's a good kickoff. Yeah.
So for all the listeners, basically the news today came that Hydrogen Utopia listed on the AQUS growth market. And, obviously many months of building the company, and you finally realized your dreams.
I did actually. I to be honest, if I can recap how it happened, I when I started AGY, so as an LTD, I never expected it to list in the beginning. I really wanted to focus on the Polish market, on deploying the powerhouse DMG technology, which I find spectacular, cleaning up the oceans, taking care of the unrecycled plastic, turning it into needed hydrogen, which demand on it is just spectacular. I just thought we'll just do it in Poland, in my region, and that was that. And then I remember this night very, very clearly. It was January in Warsaw under hard lockdown, -20 Celsius. And I thought, why? And Konin was under lockdown as well. And I just thought, why would I only focus on one country or only on one region? I feel myself as a European, not a Pole, as a European, a continental European. So why should I actually be only focusing on one country? And I thought, let me take this technology to the continent. This was, opportunity met preparation, as the Stoics said, and there was a incredible grant opportunity happening, loan grant opportunity called the Just Transition Mechanism, created by the EU Post-Recovery COVID Fund. Which is the biggest ever. It was meant to boost the European Union economy, help our ecology, help job creation, all the things we need, all the ESG things we need. And I just thought, okay, this is the time, the technology, EU, it's a time to do it. And this is when the whole concept of a big AGY started, because in the beginning it was meant to be just Poland, and this is how it all began in my head in January. And yes, indeed, it is a dream come true. So it's exactly a year from this night when I couldn't sleep, and I just made a list of countries that I would like to approach.
For any potential new investors, let's just sort of wind back again and start from the beginning. What is Hydrogen Utopia International? And let's talk about the link with obviously Powerhouse Energy.
Of course. So Hydrogen Utopia International is a licensee of Powerhouse Energy Group, which is an AIM-listed company, and DMG. So Powerhouse is a licensor of the technology, and we are the licensee. There is a private company called Peel, who is deploying technology in the UK, and are focused now primarily on the UK. And AGY took the license on DMG technology for firstly exclusive license for Poland, then Hungary and Greece, and then the non-exclusive license to be able to approach basically countries worldwide. So we have an IP agreement with Powerhouse. The technology belongs to them, and we are the licensee. So that's who we are. The way it's structured is that the mothership is based in the UK as you said, on the AQUSE growth market, and then the companies, there are subsidiaries in every country now, Poland and Greece exactly, and I'm just about to open a company in Hungary and Bulgaria, subsidiary companies, wholly owned subsidiaries by AGY, because all the grants and loans will go to these companies, but the main company is here in the UK.
Okay, and then obviously in the last few months prior to the listing, there was some rather large announcements. Let's say there was obviously the Linda Framework Agreement. Do you want to talk to people just how big that actually is?
Absolutely. So the way I decided to build, being so small, and knowing I will have plenty of difficulties with developing this technology and deploying this technology, I knew I needed strong people behind me. So strong people are strong entities, strong companies. So it is indeed Linde, Sweco, and Electron that I would like to talk about. So I'll just start from Linde, which is 100, nearly now 80 billion, changes every day, but 180 billion company that deals with hydrogen, with gas cleanup, and they are the giants, and they are the biggest of the biggest. I mean, just it's a funny thing is that their biggest competitors, Air Liquide and Products, are a third of what they are, because they're about 50 billion market cap. So Linde is the biggest, and Linde is only interested in reputation. Really, they're not interested in making money anymore. They are, they are well established. They're having a great turnover every year. So they really are interested in technologies that can give them, they can be secure about, and also they can give them, I think, proper reputation on the market. So we've signed a framework agreement, which allows us, which gives them a right of first refusal. So we have to build our systems with their parts, and if they don't want it, then we can go to somebody else, but they ask for exclusivity, and we have this exclusivity with them. Harald Ranke, the managing director of Salas Linde, came personally to Glasgow to COP26 to sign the framework agreement with me, which doesn't happen normally. They are not really a PR company. They don't have to be. They don't have to promote themselves. Everybody knows who they are. Everybody who is interested goes to Linde. So they don't need all these things, and they've done it because I think they're proud of being part of the DMG. There's another company which I am very, very proud of, which is Sweco. I remember very, very well back in November, I met Sweco for the first time. They were very interested, but they were like, they normally do incinerators, they build bridges. They are an engineering management company, which is the biggest in Europe, listed on the Stockholm exchange market, a massive, massive company. And they were like, 25 million for a system. It's not really like, it's a bit risky. It's hydrogen from waste. We don't know. And suddenly I talked to the CEO and I convinced him. And not only now they are just all over us, but they are putting us in the report. There's now a report of Sweco, and every country, and there are like 20 countries in Europe, they has to choose 2 projects they're proud of. And DMG is one of them in Poland. So I'm very, very proud that I have Linde, I have Sweco behind me. I have also Electron, who is a boutique company, but extremely powerful on the market, working for Tata Steel, for Boeing, for Shell, for General Electric. They are high-end, highly specialized furnace builders who decided to cooperate with us. Linde and Electron already have met, and they've been talking about connecting their systems, which is the chemical conversion chamber by Electron and the cleanup system by Linde. So, the cooperation is going smoothly, greatly. So I've chosen, I think, the best of the best to make it happen, to make it work.
Yeah. I mean, it really is the Rolls Royce of that in that industry, isn't it? Really, they're
It really is. So I feel very, very privileged, and I mean, there are no words to express how proud I am to have people of this magnitude and gravitas behind AGY.
Yeah, when I first looked at Powerhouse many years ago, and obviously saw the DMG solution, and was obviously very inspired by the way it could literally change the face of the environment and the plastic, and deal with a lot of different problems we've got right now in the current climate. I was always convinced that obviously Peel Protos would have the first of a kind, but as time's moving on, it feels like with Conin announced that really HUI will be the ones to take that first of a kind there to the market.
As I said, as I said before, I think in the interviews, it is not a race. It is a race for me. It's a race with myself. I want to build the first of a kind on the continent. Continent is my playground, is my home, and this is what I want. I really wish all the best of luck to Peel and to Powerhouse, who is the owner of the technology, and Peel, who is the first developer in the UK. And I wish them all the best of luck. And I think, whoever is first, great. We need a proof of concept. My whole objective, my whole ambition and goal as a CEO is to do 2 things: is to build the FOAC, and also is to create a project pipeline of a huge magnitude. So that is why I will be traveling wherever I can travel and talk about the DMG wherever I can talk, and to whoever I can talk about it, because people just don't know. And this is the biggest ambition of mine, aside of building it, is that I want to create awareness. Because what I noticed during a few congresses I attended is just people just don't know. You can't blame people for not buying this technology or investing in this technology if they have never heard of it. So first you have to create awareness, and then expect people to, and then make them decide whether they want it or not. So there was a moment during a congress in Łódź in central Poland, which was a new mobility congress, where I talked about DMG in a very, very, I would say, farmer's way. I said, well, this is what we take, this is what we do. There's the feedstock, there's the output. This is what we do. And there were 30 people from municipalities who were saying, is it real? What you're talking about? And could you please contact us? And some of them will never have money to buy it. Some of them will try to get money to buy it, but they just didn't know. And I want people to know. And then I think it will be a snowball effect. This is my goal and my ambition for this year and next years to come.
What sort of things can you see happening in the next, say, few months that is going to inspire people to want to be involved in this?
Well, there are many things I cannot talk about because I am bound by NDA. So I really, really don't want to jinx it. But there's for sure, I'm very, very, very anxious to get the loan, which I should be getting now very soon, or an answer about it in January. As I said before, there's a 2-stage process, and I've made it to the second round, which is the last round. I've also been contacted again by the same organization who is the loan provider, whether I would like to participate in another round of a different loan. So there is a myriad of opportunities. Also from Greece, people are writing about their grants, about their loans, and also I'll be ordering long lead items in January and February, which I can't say anything more about really. But there's plenty of things happening, which I just simply cannot say. Things will be happening.
In 5 years' time, what would be the hope on the European continent to have these DMG units?
We have a strong support, very, very strong support in calling in for 10 systems, right? There is Bulgaria with the opportunity of 12 systems, and I've been contacted now by many, many people from Sofia as well to build it around Sofia. Bulgaria is a very difficult market, but with incredible potential, very, very, very cheap country. I mean, when it comes to labor, so it's a great opportunity. In Greece, we are working with Deloitte on a grant application for the JTF. So what we are really waiting for now is JTF to unleash. This is the year for EU to start unleashing the money. The money has been already allocated, but as I mentioned before, JTF is a completely new project. It's something that has never happened before. It's not like a grant that anybody knows how it's going to exactly work, because this money, 1.7 trillion, is a lot of money, and it has to be allocated properly. It has to be divided into soft loans, or grants or loans. So we really don't know how it's going to happen. Every country will be getting it at a different pace accordingly to their hydrogen strategy. So this is what we'll be waiting for. So now I'll be actually focusing much more on local loans and local grants. They seem to be much faster, and they seem to work much better. And the JTF, I will be just waiting to unleash, and the rest I'll be just focusing on the local grants. Sky's the limit. I mean, I'll go to every conference I can, and people will just come to me at a certain point. I will not be able to. I will not be chasing them. They'll be chasing me. This is what I think. So how many people will be chasing me? Who knows? I hope it'll be like a whole, kilometers of people chasing me. Build a system.
I guess it's one of them. We know what's happening in Conan, and we know what's happening in Bulgaria, as you've said, Sophia. And
let me tell you something.
Sophia.
I cannot.
So we're talking 20s, 30s.
Absolutely so. Absolutely
minimum. So
what have I done? And this is something that I'm actually very proud of, which I can openly say, is that having partners like Linda and Sweco behind me just opens doors, right? I mean, a CEO of Sweco goes to his Christmas party, where he meets the CEO of Sweco Sweden and Sweco Romania or Bulgaria or Sweco Lithuania, and they talk about it, right? And then I get a phone call from one of them. I cannot say whom, but I get a phone call. And then this is how it starts. And just please remember that I started this company during the pandemic in 2020, November 2020, from a scratch.
We think because in the West, we've somehow slightly cut down our plastic usage, but actually the production of plastic in the world is increasing rapidly every year. It's not decreasing at all.
It's increasing, and I think that in our bubble, in our Western bubble, even I mainly live in Italy and Poland. Poland is a very, very clean country, but I know that there's some dirty stuff going on. Like, for example, people are landfilling plastic, but they're actually saying it's paper, because paper can be landfilled for longer and it's not so difficult, and so they are. And there's dirty stuff going on everywhere. Germany, as you know, is sending things to Vietnam through, as I said, through Turkey. So we see this clean streets, but we don't know. I mean, we do know, but it's like kind of hidden what a mess it really is. And at a certain point, this mess is going to come out, leak out, and we will be living in a mess. I mean, I have a flat in Rome, in a very, very good district, and I walk out and there's just a pile of mess, a pile of plastic constantly, because they just don't have a way to deal with it. They're sending their plastic to Naples for incineration. They have no way to deal with it. So there'll be a point when countries in the West will see exactly what countries in the East see, and now from the 1st of January of last year, there's a new law introduced by the EU and UK as well, that the waste plastics cannot be shipped to third world countries as long as it's not a R1 facility, which is a destruction facility, and that's it. So this will take enforcing this law will take some time, obviously, and killing the black market will take some time. But it is happening. In my own town, in Poland, in city, 500,000 city, the gate fee is 250 euros. I mean, so before Christmas, I was pretty busy. I can't say what I was doing exactly, but I was traveling to a few local municipalities who are desperate for the system.
Demand is there, huge.
Demand is there. The demand to get rid of plastic is huge, and demand for hydrogen is even bigger.
And really, from my perspective, I just see HUI as the thing that's grasped this and said, right, we're going to make it happen. And, PHI and its shareholders should be extremely happy about HUI and the fact that this is going to be a way of getting this to the market in vast quantities through Linda, through the other company, what was it? Sweco. Yeah. Because these are massive European giants who are going to put this forward. So for me, it should be a celebration for PHE that, wow, this is happening, and we've got effectively you are going to be a marketing company that's just going to push and push and push and push this, hopefully all over the world. Now, obviously, we're talking about Europe initially, but there's potential all over the world, I presume.
Absolutely. I've been in touch now with a gentleman who is very strongly connected with Singapore, which is a very, very rich country, as we all know, but very troubled with their plastic waste. So yes, my ambitions and my goals are unlimited, and I think my only limitations are my physical capabilities of a human being. Thanks God to caffeine and
when you do get sleep, you mean?
No product placement, but Coca-Cola. Thank you very much that I have. I can drink it all the time.
Other brands are available, by the way.
Yes, Pepsi and Fritz Cola.
But Coca-Cola is the best.
Well, I am wedded to business. AQI is my main thing. I have still 2 small enterprises going on in my life, but I would say, they're my hobbies. But AQI is my life, my family. I don't have a family. I don't have a husband. I don't have children. This is my life. And I am just absolutely devoted to make this big.
And you had said before you have a very strong family, as in board, behind you in terms of HUI. So tell us a bit about that.
I don't have a family, but I do have an HUI family. My board is my strength. And there's, I think what I've built is important because we are all different. And as we all know, I'm extremely chaotic. I'm very fast and quick, and I'm just extremely forward thinking and going. But I do have certain limitations. So I have Guy Peters, who is ex-nomad, a lawyer, extremely diligent, very, 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 very good. He's a chairman, and he is there to control my chaos. There is Paul Formanko, ex-JP Morgan analyst, 20 years in New York, and has an extreme background in Central Eastern Europe as well. He comes from Slovakia, originally Czechoslovakia. There's Steve Medikuk, who was on the board of many public companies in London. And there's, of course, the least, but the most important, I think, Keith Riley, who is the director of PAG and the director of AGY, who is the brain of the system, behind the system. He's an engineer with extremely vast experience, Veolia, COO, and other companies that I would have to write a book about his experience. So I'll just stop here. There's also lawyers, Leighton's, Dimitri Yassini, who helped a lot. There's a whole Jeffrey Henry group, Alfred Henry's our corporate advisor, people like that who made AGY where it is now.
So basically there's a strong board behind you.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think Howard White also is advising you as well in terms of being involved with PHE as a big shareholder there. There are no words to express my gratitude towards the White Consortium, the White family, Howard White himself, who introduced me to the technology. I took it from there, but the introduction came from him, and his support, and now his financial support on the IPO is of course massive. I mean, his technological background. I mean, his ingenuity and his absolutely visionary thinking are inspiration to me. So it's good that you asked. I was kind of shy because every time I talk about what he has done for not only AGY but in general, I think for humanity, it just goes beyond my vocabulary. So obviously, yes, him as largest PH shareholder and him as a support of AGY, it's just it can't be put into words. I'm very grateful. I'd like to thank all the people who believed in me from the very, very beginning, with the seed capital in the beginning, then with the pre-IPO and the IPO shareholders for entrusting in AGY concept. And I think I have delivered up till now everything I've promised. All the companies that I promised I'll bring in, I brought in. The agreements I promised to sign, I signed, and I hope to keep up the good work.
Perfect. Well, can't argue with that, can we, Kev?
No, yeah, you have delivered everything you've said to this point, and I will actually point people back to the first podcast we did with you guys when we did the pre-IPO, I think it was. Not sure what date it is, but we'll post it out there again. Have a listen to that again, and you'll see the progress of what has happened, and then the progress what should happen going forward. So yeah, it's for me, we picked it as one of our stocks of 2022. I'm not changing my mind. It's already produced 80-90% return based on today's price, and I think that's only the beginning, to be honest.
Aleksandra Binkowska, CEO of Hydrogen Utopia International, congratulations.
Thank you very, very, very much.
Yes, well done, and keep it up.
All right.
Bye now.
Bye.
This podcast was brought to you by Roast PR Limited. If you would like to appear on a future episode of The Sunday Roast, please email admin@thesundayroast.net.